Right now, there is a heavy feeling across parts of Kwara State, a mix of fear, anger, and deep sadness. Just when many people were beginning to hope that calm was returning, reports indicate that heavily armed terrorists have once again attacked a community in the state. For residents, this is not just another headline. It is a painful reminder that safety is still uncertain for many ordinary Nigerians trying to live their daily lives. According to local accounts and emerging reports, the attack happened in a rural community that has experienced similar incidents in the past. Witnesses say the attackers arrived with heavy weapons, spreading panic as people ran for safety. Homes were reportedly invaded, and the sound of gunfire forced families to flee into nearby bushes and neighboring areas. So while exact casualty figures are still being clarified, the emotional impact is already clear. Grief, displacement, and fear now hang over the affected community. Before we go deeper, if you find this update helpful and important, please like this video, share it with others who need to stay informed, and subscribe to the channel for ongoing updates. Also, feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters, and respectful discussion helps us all understand these issues better. Now, let's slow things down and look carefully at what we know so far. This is not the first time this particular area of Kwara has faced such violence. Over recent months, there have been repeated reports of armed groups operating around forested zones and border communities. These areas are often hard to patrol, making them vulnerable to criminal and terrorist activities. Residents say the attackers appear to know the terrain well, which allows them to strike quickly and disappear before security forces can fully respond. How did this latest attack happen? From available information, the assailants reportedly stormed the community during a quiet period, catching many people off guard. Some residents were already asleep, while others were winding down from the day's work. The sudden nature of the attack increased the level of chaos, with families scrambling to protect children and elderly relatives. In situations like these, confusion spreads fast, and even those who escape unharmed are left traumatized. Security sources have indicated that efforts are underway to assess the situation and restore order, but for the people on the ground, help often feels slow when fear is immediate. Many villagers are said to have fled their homes, seeking refuge wherever they can find it, with relatives in nearby towns or in temporary shelters. This displacement creates another layer of suffering as people lose access to food, work, and basic necessities. Why does this matter beyond the affected community? It matters because Kwara State is often seen as a relatively peaceful region compared to other parts of the country that regularly make security headlines. When attacks like this happen repeatedly, it challenges that perception and raises serious questions about safety, preparedness, and long-term solutions. It also shows how insecurity in one area can gradually spread if not addressed effectively. For many Nigerians watching this news, there is a sense of déjà vu. We have heard similar stories from other states. Armed groups exploiting weak security presence, communities paying the price, and families left to rebuild from nothing. Each incident adds to national anxiety and erodes confidence, not just in local safety, but in the ability of communities to thrive without fear. Residents of the affected area have reportedly called for stronger and more sustained security measures. Some say that after previous attacks, there were promises of increased patrols and protection. But over time, those efforts seemed to fade. This cycle, attack, response, and gradual withdrawal, is one that many rural communities across Nigeria are all too familiar with. It is also important to talk about the human side of this story. Behind every report of an attack are real people. Parents who do not know when they can safely return home, children who may struggle with fear long after the gunshots stop, and elders who worry that the land they have lived on for decades is no longer safe. These emotional scars often last much longer than the physical damage. At the same time, it is crucial to be careful with information. Details can change as investigations continue, and early reports may not capture the full picture. This is why responsible reporting and calm discussion are so important. Spreading unverified claims or exaggerated stories can increase panic and make an already difficult situation worse. What many Nigerians are asking now is simple. What comes next? Will security efforts be strengthened in a lasting way? Now, will affected communities receive support to rebuild and feel safe again? And how can authorities prevent this pattern from repeating itself in the future? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary ones. As the situation develops, attention will likely turn to the response from state and federal authorities, as well as the role of local vigilance and intelligence. Long-term peace depends not only on reacting to attacks, but on addressing the conditions that allow such groups to operate, including terrain challenges, economic hardships, and gaps in security coverage. If you're still watching at this point, thank you for staying engaged. Please remember to like this video, share it so others can stay informed, and subscribe for continued updates on these and other important national issues. Your comments are also welcome. What do you think needs to be done to improve security in vulnerable communities? In closing, this latest attack in Kwara is a sobering reminder that behind every security report are lives disrupted and futures put on hold. As more verified information becomes available, staying informed, calm, and thoughtful in our discussions is key. Let's keep paying attention, keep asking the right questions, and keep hoping for real solutions that bring lasting peace.